Good morning to all. My name is Lokesh. I'm part of the Algomojo team. Now, today's session we will be looking at how to use Algomojo platform for automating your trades, your strategies, which could be in platforms like TradingView or Amibroker, or it could be charting, or it could be MT4 kind of platforms. Today, we will focus more on the TradingView strategies and indicators to be used for automating the trades. How do we do that, and what are the steps involved? What is the process involved? I'll take you through those processes, and we have tried to keep this um, process pretty simple. You can bring in any strategy, you can bring in any uh, indicator that you would have in TradingView or Amibroker if you are running any strategies, or if you have something in charting, screeners in charting, which you want to trigger orders whenever there is a signal to buy or sell. Those things can be done pretty easily using our platform. Now, would like to make keep the session as interactive as possible. Uh, Please ask any questions related to our platform, how to use it, and how to do the alert setting or any other settings in TradingView or Amibroker. I'll be able to show it today. Right? We will start with a small presentation, and then we will look at Algomojo platform, and then we will get to see how do we do an integration using strategy and an indicator in TradingView. Please use the chat box to type out any queries that you would have, any clarifications or anything particular you would like to see in our platform. Please type out those details in the chat box. I'll try and show them how to do it in today's session. Right, like I mentioned, we will start with a small presentation and then get into the actual platform usage. The agenda would be to look at some of the key features and benefits which our platform provides for the investors and traders together. And we will look at how to do integration of various strategies, indicators in TradingView. In case if anybody is wanting to look at Amibroker, we can try and see that also. These are the two platforms that we can try and have a look at it today. And the process to do in charting and MT4 kind of platforms will be very similar, nothing much of a difference you will find. But however, our focus will be on these two platforms today. We'll touch upon the support structure that we have. We have an excellent backend team to provide or extend any kind of support that users might have during the live markets and even after the live markets. I'll share you details about how to get in touch with a support team for any kind of assistance that you would need. Now, ask any questions related to our platform and the TradingView or Amibroker. I'll try and answer them. Yeah, ours is a web-based platform. We don't have any mobile app. You can use any browser. It could be Edge, it could be Chrome, it could be Firefox, any browser that you're comfortable with, and you can log into our platform and start using all the features and facilities that are needed for automation of your things. Again, most importantly, we are just an execution platform. We are not into the business of providing strategies or any kind of tips or any kind of guidance in terms of what to buy, when to buy, how to buy, those kind of things. We don't do. We are an execution platform. We pick up the signals from your charting tool, which could be run. You could be running your strategies, or you could be referring to certain indicators. And when certain levels are achieved in those indicators or strategies, you would like to take an entry or an exit. So that is where we come in. We pick up those entry levels and exit levels and execute those signals into an order in whichever broker that you're going to use. We have integrated for API based trading with close to about 30 brokers so far. I'll take you through the list of brokers with whom we have done the integrations. And like I was mentioning, TradingView and Amibroker, apart from MT4 and charting, are the tools which are currently integrated with our platform for execution of signals. Right. um, and what we have tried to keep this process as simple and as easy as possible. We have to we have broken it down to simple process of copy pasting certain things from our platform onto your charting tool for automation purpose. You need not have to get into modifying any of the strategy codes that you're running. You need not even have to have any codes also for any kind of modification or inclusion of the modules from us. All you have to do is copy paste one or two things from Algomojo onto TradingView or onto Amibroker. That is all will be the steps. You will see how easy it is to do these steps. Uh, it is one, two copy paste that you need to do. There are a couple of important things which are critical so that once you follow those processes and understand how the system works and do the one-time setups in Algomojo and in your charting tool, the trades can happen without any kind of intervention automatically. So you need not be sitting in front of your system or trying to do place any orders manually. You need not have to do any of those stuff based on the indicators or strategies that you are going to use. Whenever the levels are achieved, the signals will be sent to Algomojo, who will in turn execute those orders into your broker's account. Now, some of the key features would include things like you can decide what is that you want to trade, whether you want to trade in equities, whether you want to trade in futures, whether you want to trade in options, and in options, whether you want to trade in ATM strikes or ITM strikes or OTM strikes, or if you want to trade in a particular strike price for the entire day, you can do all those settings in our platform. And these are basically one-time definitions that you will need to do in the platform. After that, in case if you need, you can edit it or you can do any modifications to it. After that, it doesn't require any kind of monitoring from the users as such. In case if you want us to develop any fine code based strategies in TradingView, we do take up those coding requirements. I will share you how to go about it. So you can send in your complete requirements as to what is that you are trying to look at in terms of getting it coded. And we will check for the feasibility. And if it is feasible, we can try and deliver those codes both for TradingView and for Amibroker. And even if somebody is interested, we can look at Python based coding also. We do extend that kind of support. Now, if you have any idea uh, of trading which you want it to be coded for automation purpose, that's where we would come in and help you out. Of course, it would come with a cost associated with it, depending on the complexity of the strategies that you are trying to get it coded. The pricing will be arrived at, and we will communicate to you what will be the cost and timeline involved. And in case you're okay with it, we can take it forward. Coming back to the features, again, if you are an option buyer, you can definitely use a platform. If you want to write options, that's also possible. If you want to hedge some of your main trades, you can do that from our platform itself. Now, if the quantity that you're trying to trade is large in number, we will take care of order splitting also. So you need not have to worry about placing multiple orders when the quantities that you're trying to trade are large in number. If it is more than the freeze quantities set by the exchanges. Now, when it comes to risk management, we provide facilities for setting up targets, setting up stop losses, and also trailing stop loss features are available. Now, when it comes to target or stop loss or trailing stop loss, you can do it based on various factors. Like it could be point based, it could be percentage based, or it could be M2M based, or if you're a positional trader, even it can be on a profit basis. So you can trade your stops accordingly, or um, targets can also be set in terms of profits also. Right? So whenever there's a target that you have set is reached in terms of rupees or in terms of percentage of points, your portion will get squared off. Now, for all users, we provide a facility for paper trading. Up to six strategies you can simultaneously check for in paper trade. And once you get familiar with how to use the platform, and if you find that the platform is able to meet your trading and investment requirements, you can go in for live trade. Now, paper trade is a facility that we provide to users to get a hang of how the platform is functioning, how the orders are getting executed, to check how the orders are getting executed. Now, in case if you're an option trader and you want to buy an ITM5 kind of strike, whenever there's a buy and signal, and when the sell signal comes, you want those C to be closed and you want a P to be taken, or if you want certain trades to be hedged along with an option, those kind of things can be set. And once we suggest that you do a paper trade and see if the orders are getting executed as per your requirements. And if you find that the orders are executed as per your requirements, then only going for live trade. It is not to be taken as a facility for um, say back testing or walk forward kind of testing. It is more to understand the process of how the platform works, uh, how the orders are getting executed, whether it is getting done as per your requirements, as per your strategies, or as per your indicator signals. So to check those processes, the paper trading facility is provided so that you don't trade in the live market with real money and end up if there's any issue with making loss, or as such, we don't want people to incur any loss because of that. So check on the paper trade. Once you're convinced that it is happening as per your requirements, then move over to live trades. If people For people who have joined late, we have just started with a small presentation. We haven't still got into the actual platform usage. This session is getting recorded. In case you would like to look at what is that we have spoken so far, the recordings will be made available to you later. You can go through it again. So again, in case you're a swing trader or personal kind of trader, if you want to roll over your trades at the end of the month or the end of the contract period. You can set the rollover date and time, and at that point in time, we will look at if there are any positions open. We will close the current month contract or current week contract and take up the new position for the next month contracts which you would have set. Right? As a user, you can also say how many trades you want to do in a day. Now, there are people who would like to who would not like to overtrade. They would like to look at some 3 to 4 trades per day kind of thing. So you can set the number of trades that you want to do in a day, and suppose you selected 5 trades to be taken. So after 5 trades, the system will just not process any new signals that could come from your charting tools. Now, if you're not set any limits, all the signals that are coming from your charting tools will get executed and it will be sent to your brokers for orders. Now, for option traders which would involve option strategies as such, which would involve multi legs, you have the flexibility to create each of those legs, and if there are more than say 2, 3 legs or multiple legs in the strategy, based on a single signal, you can execute all the legs in the option strategies. Uh, of course, you can also set the priority in which the orders need to be executed. Now, for option traders, especially to help them to get the margin benefit, we you can set the option buying to be taken up first, and then the say option writing or the futures to be executed, so that you get that margin benefit. So you can prioritize the or sequence the way in which the orders need to be processed when it comes to multi-leg option strategy executions as such. Of course, we have a Telegram bot. It is called Algomojo bot. So just subscribe to Algomojo bot in Telegram, and use the chart ID from Telegram, and you can configure it to each of those strategies that you're trying to use uh, in Algomojo platform. So whenever there's a signal or whenever there's an order getting executed in your account, you can get a notification on Telegram. So any questions so far, kindly let me know using the chat box. I'll be happy to address them as we go along. Now, for you can trade not only in cash segments for intraday or delivery, you can trade in futures. It could be NSE, BSE, or MCX, any of the futures and options which are currently available in the Indian market. We don't cater to the forex market or to the crypto segments. Our platform cannot be used for, say, crypto trading or forex trading. But otherwise, you can trade all the other segments which are available in the Indian market. Options can be static or it could be dynamic also. So if you select dynamic option, whenever say a signal is coming in, we will look at what is the spot price, and if you're selected ATM, we will place orders on the ATM side. If it is ITM, we will place orders accordingly. If it is say OTM 10, we want to hedge it with an OTM 10 kind of option. We will look at the spot, calculate the OTM 10 strike price, and send it for order execution. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the process is the same. Whether you want to trade in Nifty, you want to trade in futures, you want to trade in MCX, any of those places, any of those segments, the process is the same. The instrument can be Nifty, Bank Nifty, it could be Reliance, it could be MCX Silver, it could be crude oil, any of those. So, irrespective of that, you can uh, follow the same process and do your or run your strategies for placing orders with say in say silver, or it could be gold, it could be crude, any of those. Yeah. See, if you're asking, I think Algomojo support to code our own strategy in charting side. You want to code your own strategy and run it, which gives buy sell signals, you can still use it. Or if you want us, you have an idea and you want that idea to be converted into a signal in TradingView or in Amibroker, we take up that coding activity. Suppose you are a coder and you developed a code for generating signals to execute an order, it is giving buy or sell signals. You can bring that Pine script strategy or AFL and start using our platform for order execution. Yeah, see, in case if you want, you have an idea, for example, you would like to look at what is a super trend and say combine it with RSI and also use some other studies like ADX or CCI. You want multiple things to be checked, and then uh, based on whether all the levels or whatever indicators that you're trying to use, if all conditions are met, you want an entry, and you have a specific or you have an exit process. So put that details into an email. I'll share you the email ID as to what is the idea that you have for generating signals for an entry and exit. We can definitely look at it, and if it is feasible, we will let you know. And also let us know. I suppose if you need it for TradingView or Amibroker, let us know which is the platform you want to use. Accordingly, we will be able to help you out in terms of getting the coding done. It will be at a cost, and cost is not it is not a off the line or kind of thing. It depends on the requirement basically. We have to check for the feasibility and the complexity involved. Based on that, we will be able to give you a quote, and once you accept the quote, we can take it up for coding. Now, coming back to the presentation, we have close to 30 brokers with whom we have done the API integration. Now, in case if you have an account with any of these brokers, you can start using our platform. So we provide a 7 days trial for all users at no cost. You get to use all the facilities and features which are available in our platform, and there's no limitation on that front. So please try out the 7 days trial. Check if a platform is able to meet your expectations. And in case if you find it suitable, you can go in for a subscription. So, subscription, when it comes to that, there are three models available. You can do a monthly subscription or a half yearly and a yearly based subscription. Now, uh, monthly subscription comes to about 1,000 rupees per month, and say on a yearly basis, it would work out to 500 rupees per month kind of fees or subscription fees as such. Yes. Now, you can use any laptop. As you are aware, if you are running a trading view, it is definitely in the cloud, so it doesn't consume much of your system infrastructure as such. And Algomojo again is a web-based platform, so we it doesn't consume much uh, resources of your computer. So any system, an i3 or an i5, any of those basic system configuration is sufficient. There's nothing, no complexity involved. So if you are using TradingView, it is there in the cloud. So it is a matter of setting up the alerts once your strategy is available, and things can keep running for you. Yeah. Okay. Now we have a special offer in case if you open a new account with any of these seven brokers. Um, this the API from Algomojo will come free of cost for life. So for your automation purpose, if you have a strategy in say any of the charting tools like TradingView, Amibroker, or MT4 or charting kind of thing, you run your strategies there. It's only those platform costs which will be there. Algomojo usage will be completely free of cost for life. Now, when it comes to automation, it happens in two parts. First part is we need to set it up in Algomojo as to what is that we want to trade. Once we define what is that we are trying to trade, whether it is equities, whether it is futures, or it is MCX silver kind of instrument, or it could be anything that you're planning to trade. You do that setup as a one-time activity, and then do a configuration in TradingView or any broker or any of your charting. So we will first start with the process to be followed in Algomojo and then get into TradingView. Um, and we will look at some samples of how to run it using a strategy or an indicator from TradingView. Right. Any questions so far? Anything that specific you would like to have a look at? Let me know. See, in case now, trading view, you don't need to have multiple monitors unless, of course, you have too many charts that you're running and you would like to keep an observation of as to what is happening. Then you will need multiple monitors if the numbers are pretty big. If the charts that you're looking at is many in number, if it is couple of charts, then you should be able to do it using a single monitor. If it is something like 10, 15, or even 20 charts, or more than 10 charts, I would suggest you can look at a alternative monitor just for monitoring purpose. There will not be much activity to be done except for observation. So once you do the setups in TradingView and Algomojo, there's nothing much. There's nothing else to be done. So in TradingView, whenever your signals are generated, it will get processed and the orders will be there. So yeah, IP the is something which should have got implemented sometime in August kind of time frame that has got postponed. Now, SEBI has said that it will happen in a phased manner sometime early part of next year. That's it, from January onwards, looks like. Now, IP is the static IP is what is being provided by the internet service providers, right? Today, what is happening is we have a pool of IPs from our data centers, and we use those pool for placing orders on all client or customers' requirements. But the new rule says that anybody placing orders using API, they should have a static IP. So what is going to happen is for each user, we'll need to get a static IP. So which is a resource provided by data centers or the internet service providers with whom we have hosted our platform, and it comes at a cost. So that cost we will need to pass it on to the users. It is not our cost; it is the IP cost, static IP cost provided by the infrastructure provider, which is the data center or the internet providers. So, what is the cost? It is still being finalized, and we are ready in terms of IP configuration. Our systems are all geared up. We were ready as of August itself, but since the decision has been postponed, we have not yet implemented that. Once it becomes mandatory, we will share. You will have a process defined in our system how to get IPs. And once you get that IP as a one-time activity by paying the necessary fees, it will be allocated to you, and you can start using those IPs, static IPs, as per the exchange requirements. Yeah. Any settings that you do, we will look at it in Algomojo. What are the settings to be done, when it has to be done, and how it has to be done. We will look at that now. Yes. Now, this is our website, algomojo.com. Use this tab called Open Account. I was mentioning that you can get the Algomojo API is free of cost in case if you use us as the referral with any of these 7 brokers, including Zerodha. So Zerodha also have made their IPs free of cost. Earlier, there used to be a fees of 2,000 rupees monthly, which they used to charge. That they have made it zero. So your IP part or the API part in terms of broker and in terms of Algomojo platform, it becomes free of cost when you open an account with Algomojo as a referral. So kindly make use of this facility. Nowadays, it is pretty simple, easy to open an account with any of these brokers. It's a matter of 1 or 2 days. Once you provide all the documentation, they will process it pretty fast and give you the client ID and the other credentials which are required for usage. In case if you already have an account, please take the trial. Check out how our platform is able to meet your requirements. In case if you find it suitable, you can get in for subscriptions. Yeah, in case if you already have a Fire account, please use the trial period. Check it out. If we are able to meet your requirement, 7 days you get free usage, and if it's meeting your requirement, you can look at going in for monthly, half yearly, or yearly subscription. Yeah. Now, in case if there's an execution error, see, execution error normally what we see is that if there is, it could be because of insufficient funds or a wrong configuration done. So you will come to know from our platform itself what is the error, and accordingly correct that error and get back into the API or get back into that strategy or get back into that position. How to do that? We will just show it to you when we run the say alert and trading view. Yeah, see, you have these 7 accounts. If you already have an account with Fires, they don't allow you to open a new account. It can't be passed on, or they can't change it to Algomojo as a reference. So you will need to open a account with other brokers. It could be Zerodha, it could be Upstock, or say LS Blue or Done anyway. If you already have, then either look at other brokers, or you can do it in your say partner's name or any your sibling's name if you want to. If it is comfortable, you can look at opening a new account and start using it. If you're saying if you already have an account in Fires and you want one more account, they don't allow that. Yes. It has to be in your wife or it has to be your sibling's name. Open a new account with them and then start using Algomojo. Yeah, it is the same. Done and done HQ are the same. So kindly use this. So update your name, email ID, phone number, and select the broker with whom you want to open the account. It will take you to the respective broker web page, and you'll need to update the entire process or go through the process of account opening. And once they have all the details from you, they will process it and then um, share you the client ID and the password. Now, okay, there's a specific query as to based on the premium, how to select the strategy. As of now, you can't select based on the premium amount. Suppose you have a strike price running at 160 rupees and you want to enter when it reaches 200 rupees, that you will not be able to do it that way. A different method is possible in TradingView. In case if you're looking at, if you open the chart of 26,300 and if the current price is 160 and you want to enter it at 200, you create an alert to enter buy at the level of 200. So it is a one-time creation. So once you do that, the once the strike price comes to about 200 level, the order for buy or exit will get triggered, and the signal will be processed. I'll show you that also how to do that. That's the only method I can think of. But otherwise, in our platform, you can't say that, okay, if for say 26,300, take an entry when the price premium comes to 200. That kind of definition you can't do it in. But from the chart, you can try and trigger at whatever price levels that you're looking at. Now, let's get into looking at the Algomojo trading platform. So once you go to algomojo.com, you have a page, you have a button called login. So use that button and select the broker from the drop down. Today we'll be using TradeGenie as the account broker. The credentials to be used are the same, whatever broker would have given. They would have given you the client ID, password, and the OTP kind of facilities. You need to use the same thing in our platform for login also. So you don't have to create separate login process in Algomojo. It is the same broker's login process or login credentials that need to be used. So select the broker and enter the details given by that broker. For example, in this case of TradeGenie, I have an account. I enter the same client ID given by TradeGenie, enter the password and the OTP, and update that. So that's it. Use the credentials and log in to your broker page. This we suggest that you do it once close to the market opening time, as such around 8:45 onwards or 8:30 onwards would be a safe time to log in, because you're aware most of the brokers will be doing their maintenance activities in the night. And if you log in very early, say around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, you're planning to travel or you're abroad and you want to log in as soon as possible, don't do that, because the session because their brokers would be doing the maintenance activity. They would not be providing the session IDs or tokens which are required for API trading. They may not be fresh, so the orders could get rejected. Try and do it as close to market open as possible. I would say safest would be around 8:30, 8:45 login. And it is a one-time login that you need to do in the mornings. And after that, you can close your system, close your browsers. It doesn't matter. Whenever the signals are coming from whatever platform that you're sending the signals from, it'll get processed. So your system need not be on. Even if your internet is down or your system is not running or you're traveling, you're going out, close your system. But don't log out from here. Say, for example, don't go here and say log out. If you say log out, then we will not process the signals that would be coming from the charting tools. So try and log in around 8:45, 8:30, 8:45, and after that, uh, after you log in, you will need to go to the my strategies place. We'll look at that. See, as I was mentioning, we we don't support crypto trading. It is only the Indian market segment that you can trade using Algomojo platform. And see, we are an execution platform. All we are doing is picking up the signals from your charting tool and sending it to your broker for execution purpose. We are not doing any other kind of processing in our platform as such. So, one the biggest advantage could be that the execution speeds will be much faster because we don't do much of any processing in our platform. It is just the exchange of signal from one place to another place, and so that being the case, we will not be taking any responsibility in terms of whatever loss or profit that you are trying to make, because that is dependent on the strategy that you are running in your charting tool. If your strategy is a profit making strategy and you have made all your back tests and found that to be suitable, it has generated a lot of profits in the past, and you expect the strategies to behave in the same manner going forward also, and that is why you are trying to follow that strategy and place orders. Now, instead of manually placing orders, the advantage that we bring in is that you automate it. So you do the alert settings in the charting tool as a one-time activity, and after that, any signal coming in will be processed by TradingView and Algomojo with no intervention or no monitoring, I would say, required by the users as such. So, of course, we will not be able to take any kind of guarantee in terms of uh, profitability of the strategies as such. That is the backtesting that you will need to do. So any profits and loss, it is completely the responsibility of the users as such. So once you log in using the credentials provided by the broker, first check for the API. You need to go to, you'll see a lot of tabs on the left side. Go to the first tab called My API. When you click on that, it will ask you to generate the API. So once you generate, for the first time, you'll get a 7 days by default, trial by default, and after the trial is over, you'll need to renew them. You can do that from here to get these three plans. So yearly, half yearly, and monthly plans, and get your API. If you have opened a new account with Algomojo as a reference, then it will be lifetime free as such, 9,500 days or so. The APIs will be free of cost from Algomojo. So we'll get to use all the features which are currently available and all the features which are going to be provided in the future also, free of cost. There'll be no additional cost. Of course, the IP cost is something different. It is not our cost. It is the infrastructure provider's cost. It is more of a requirement of the exchange that the IP has to be a static IP. So that has to be sourced, and we are doing that sourcing on your behalf, and we are sending your orders using that specific static IP to the exchange for exchange for to the brokers for placement of orders. Yeah. Now, once you have the APIs from us, API key and API secret, the next step is to define what is that you want to trade using this button called My Strategies. Go to this tab called My Strategies, and when you're doing it for the first time, it will be completely blank. So use this button called New Strategy, add a new strategy. So here you need to provide some basic details like give a name, for example. First, we will try and see how to do setting for trading in Nifty futures. I will say NF demo 22nd November, for example. And next step is to look at the rules. There are 5 types of rules that we have defined, we have identified based on various strategies and various requirements of traders and investors. We have narrowed it down to 5 types of rules. These are called long only rule, short only, long plus short, buy, sell, short cover, and stop and reversal. What are these rules? When they need to be used, I will explain it to you in relation to a chart. We will look at a trading view chart and understand from the chart what type of rule needs to be applied for the strategy that you're trying to trade. Right. For the first demo, we'll be using the super trend strategy, which is always in trade, either long or short. So for such kind of strategy, which is always in trade, use the rule called stop and reverse. So you could have any strategy which is always in trade, not intermittently in trade. It is always in trade. Um, so use the strategy rule called stop and reverse, and then select the segment in which you want to trade. For example, for Nifty futures, we will select the second option called Nifty futures and options, and the symbol we'll need to type out the first few letters called Nifty. I'll select the November contract. Then order can be normal or MIS. And price is always market, so there is no facility for limit order as of now. We are working on limit order facilities, which would be coming in the near future. So, and after that, select the number of lots that you want to trade. For example, if you want to trade in 100 lots, once you type in, it will show you the quantity also below. And if it is more than the freeze limit, it will automatically select the split quantity based on the instrument that you're trying to trade. The next section is pretty optional in case if your strategy itself is taking care of target and stop loss and exits, all that entry and exit. So you need not have to update any of these parameters which are there. When you come to the lower portion of the web page, the standard time of start time, end time, and square of time are all uh, by default set to the market available timings. And in case if you want to make any changes, you could do that. And in case if you want to roll over, you can select the rollover option from here, and which expiry, all those can be defined here. If you want to limit the number of trades, you can also specify those limits. For example, you want to take 5 trades in a day, you can say 5 here, and then update these requirements and do a submit. So if the details are sufficient, it will get saved. The strategy, we call it as a strategy page in Algomojo. So it will get saved and it will be available for you always. Right. So once you do these one definitions of what is that you want to create, the next step is to get into your charting tool. Like we will use TradingView for uh, looking at how the signals could be generated and those can be processed as such. Any queries so far? So this is futures what we are looking at. We will try and see one more example for options where you can select the ATM, OTM, ITM option depending on your requirement. We will do that for Bank Nifty as the next step. So otherwise, we can first look at the futures method for automation. So once you have updated the necessary fields, you can go back here. And by default, it will be in inactive state. You can update it. You need to enable it for paper trade or live trade. Always start with the paper trade. Understand how the system works, how the platform is working, and in case if things are going well as per your requirements, then going for live trade. So up to 6 paper trades can be enabled at any point in time, and live trade there's no limitation. You can have as many live trades as possible. Right? So every day in the morning after you log in around 8:30, 9 o'clock, come to this page called My Strategies and look at your strategies and enable them for live trade or paper trade. This you have to do every day as a one-time activity as such. So after that, you can close your system. You need not be sitting in front of your laptop or desktop. Whenever the signals are coming in, it will get processed and orders will be sent, or the signals will be sent to your broker, and who will in turn send it to your exchange, and orders will be processed, and it will be available for you in your account. Right. So let us look at TradingView. In TradingView, in case if you have anything specific to look at, any specific strategy or indicator, kindly let me know. I'll try and use that for the demo today and show you how to do the setting. Otherwise, we'll be using super trend as the strategy. Super trend, many, I suppose all of you have come across super trend or use super trend. So it's a pretty popular kind of strategy. So we'll be using that as an example to see how to do the automation part. Now, first step that we always recommend is select the instrument that you want to set the alert for. For today's demo, we will use the crypto chart because crypto markets are on today. We should be able to get some live signals. Otherwise, you can't trade in crypto instruments. It's only for generating signals that we'll be using the chart. Similarly, you can use Nifty chart or you can use options chart, any of those charts. Somebody was asking, how do I use, say, 23,600 is my strike price. Strike I'm looking at, for example, a CE, and it is running at say 160 kind of thing. So you open a 23,600 option chart, CE option chart, and look at the current price. And after that, if you want to buy it at a certain level, say if it is at 150 and you want to buy it when it comes to 160, you can do a setting for that. The process will be very similar. First, we will look at a strategy. Then we will try and see how to do it based on prices. We'll take that as a next option. So we'll select the instrument. Let me select Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin market is on. And let's select the time frame. We look at 1 minute time frame. And then load your strategy. I have super trend already loaded, so let me make it visible. So as you can see, super trend is loaded, and it is always in trade, either long buy or long or short. So whenever these signals are getting generated, requirement is that we pick up these signals and place orders. That is all we have to do. So after you select the instrument, it could be Nifty, it could be say 23,600 CE or PE or any instrument that you're trying to trade. Load that instrument and load the time frame in which you are trying to trade, and then load your strategy. So it could be super trend, it could be half trend, UT ball, whatever strategy that you are working with. Load that strategy. As long as it is giving buy and sell signals, we will be able to automate it. So the next step is to create an alert for the strategy. So the way to do it is go to the strategy and click on these three dots and say add alert. So we say add alert. It will open a pop-up box. Go to the message box, and by default, whatever is the content, remove that and take the content from Algomojo strategy. This is a strategy that we just created. Go there and scroll to the bottom of the page, and there's something called Trading View, in which you have various tabs called strategy with code, with symbol, indicator, with symbol. So look at the strategy part, copy this code and paste it here and give it a name. Say, for example, we'll say NF 22nd, and go to the notification. By default, if there's any webhook URL, remove that go to Algomojo again, and for the strategy that you had defined, there, copy the webhook URL from here and paste it onto the chart. Yes, you have to copy this message box content and paste it here. And in the notification, you have to copy from Algomojo and paste the webhook URL. These are the only two things that are required, and then say create. So once you say create, it will be shown here. So whenever there is a signal coming in, that will be processed and sent to from TradingView to Algomojo, and we will be able to place it on. That is all the step required to automate any strategy that you would have in TradingView for any instrument. It could be MCX silver, it could be crude oil, it could be option chart, it could be Nifty chart, it could be Reliance or HDFC cash or futures chart, whatever chart that you're trying to trade with. Open that chart and follow the same process. That is all is required. There's nothing else to be done. Just copy paste the content in the message box of the alert and link it to the webhook URL in the notification box. Let me show it again. So after you load your strategy, click on the three dots and click on the add alert section. Go to the message box. By default, whatever is there, remove that. Take the content from Algomojo, this code or this JSON format, and paste it here and give it a name, say anything that you're wanting to, and go to the notification. By default, whatever is the webhook URL, delete that and take a fresh webhook URL for that particular strategy from Algomojo and paste it in and say create. These are all the only two steps that needs to be followed for automation. There's nothing else to it. So you can bring in any strategy. Yeah. Now, if you're looking at silver, all you have to do is go to the section called MCX silver. Select this chart and follow the same process. The markets are closed, so we will not be able to get any live signals. So that is the reason I have not used the MCX chart, silver chart, but otherwise it is the same thing. If you want to try and do it in crude oil, NYMEX crude, for example, here, you can use this. Or if you have any other, say MCX crude oil, you can use that symbol. Look at any symbol. The process is the same. Load your symbol first, load the time frame, load the indicator, and create an alert. That is all. There's nothing else to it. We were looking at Bitcoin only because that the market is open today, and we should be able to see some live signals. Any other doubts? Yeah. See, in TradingView, for example, we have used uh, here in this case it is Bitcoin and SuperTrade. Now, the requirement could be that for each kind of symbol that you want to use, say for Nifty, you're wanting to run super trend. For Bank Nifty, you have another strategy called half trend. For Reliance, you have something called a UT bot. For Paytm, it could be a different strategies. For different instruments, if you're using different uh, strategies, for each of those, you have to create an alert separately. So that is one way of looking at it. The other requirement could be that you want to use super trend for say 50 stocks. Say for example, you want to use super trend and trade in all the Nifty 50 stocks. Then you have to create one alert and apply that to the watch list of 50 stocks. However, for watch list of for generating signals using the watch list, you will need a higher level of subscription in TradingView. So if you have a common strategy but multiple stocks, then use the watch list method. If you have multiple strategies for each strategy different for different symbols, then you have to create separate alerts for each of those symbol and the associated strategy that you are trying to. So now we just created for Nifty. We can do it for Bank Nifty. We can do it for MCX. We can do it for Reliance. So you can have multiple alerts which are running simultaneously. So the advantage with if you can find a coder who can do this as a part of coding itself, then maybe you can try that method. Otherwise, if you are not into coding and if you're not familiar with, you don't have a good coding support, then there's no alternative, sir. You have to use separate alert for each of the instruments that you're trying to trade with. I'm not very sure if you can code it in the Mindscript itself for looking at various strategies for various symbols as such. I'm not very sure if it can be done. My guess is that for each strategy, it has to be a different instrument. Yeah, you are right. Watch list, you can apply one strategy at a time. Yeah. Now, when it comes to TradingView, I think they have some good offers running. They have normally these Black Friday kind of uh, discounts which are running. So try and make use of that. They provide various kinds of discounts. I think the basic plan has 30% discount, and plus plan is about 40%. Ultimate goes up to 80%. So have a look at the various plans. I think the essential plan provides up to 20 alerts that you can use. So if you have more than 20 alerts to be used, then you need a higher plan. Otherwise, up to 20, you can go with the basic plan, which is about $126, about $10 per month, you know, pricing as such. Right. Yeah. So once you have the part is you definitely need to have a subscription of TradingView because the free version doesn't support the webhook URL. And in case if you're wanting to use watch list with the single indicator kind of thing, then you will need to go for either for premium or ultimate kind of plans. The essential and plus plan don't support watch list based strategy execution or indicator based strategy execution or indicator based execution for watch list. So only the higher plans support that. Yes. I think the premium plan you can handle up to say 100 watch list or so. And the other one is I think about 500 or so. I'm not very sure of the number, but yes, they do have plans for supporting higher requirements or larger requirements as such. No, we don't have any referral code for trading. They have this discount applicable for all subscribers. Try and uh, take it. They have this Good Friday sale running now, so that's why they are offering this kind of huge discounts. Normally, they offer good discounts towards the Thanksgiving time or Good Friday kind of time frames. So make use of this offer. We don't have any tie-up as such with TradingView. So, in case if you're looking at Amibroker, we'll try and have a look at that setup also now. So I'll show you Amibroker also. Yes. So coming back to the strategy, so all you have to do is do this alert creation. It is a one-time activity, and as you are aware, TradingView is running on a cloud platform. So after you do the login in the Algomojo and enable your strategies, there's no other intervention required. It can keep running for you. Even similarly, TradingView also, once the alert is created, there's no intervention required. It can keep running. So unless until you want to make some changes, say for example, you created a strategy for trading in Nifty futures for 100 lots. Suppose you want to say that instead of 100 lots, I want to make it 125 lots. So you can go and edit it and say that, okay, make this 125 and I want to say make some changes in terms of targets, or I want to trail. I want to put a stop loss in terms of points. I can say that okay, this to begin with, I'll keep a stop loss of 50 points and then save it. So that you can keep doing it as long whenever you want to make changes. So any changes that you make in terms of the product definition that you've done, it gets applied immediately. So, and there's no limitation as to how many times you can change in a day or kind of thing. You can do it any amount of time. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, we do keep looking at customer feedbacks pretty seriously. And in case if you find that there is some new requirement which is not currently available, you can make a request for that also. You can ask for a feature to be included uh, in our platform. So we will, once you provide those details as to what is that you're looking at, we would look at the feasibility and then definitely uh, if it is feasible and found that it can be of great help to all the users, we'll make those kind of facilities in our platform also. Thanks for the feedbacks. Sure, kindly let us know. We are looking at any kind of feedback in case we find that there is some gaps in terms of intraday requirements, what you're talking about. We'll be more than willing to look at it and get that included in our platform, sir. See, any open portions which are available, for example, let me go back here. Yeah. So once you make these changes and come back here and say enable paper trade. See, we were looking at something like super trade. For example, there is short trade running. Say you want to get into this trade because you feel that the market might keep going further down. All you have to do is go here and take the trade from here itself. You say that sell as generate that signal sell position or get into the sell position from here itself manually first time if you want to, and you'll be able to see what has happened from under the tab called My Signals. You can see that we have generated this manual signal, and there's one short portion which is created for, I think we were looking at 125 lots. So it is 9,375. This short is currently running. So what happens is if After this, after you've taken this position, whenever there's a new signal coming in from trading view that you created, it'll get processed automatically. So you need not have to worry about how to get into the trade, and after that, leave it for the chart to handle it. This is the method of doing it. So you take it from here, take the first trade from here manually, do it from this section only, and not any other section. Don't uh, even if it is a live trade, also do it from here, because our platform will understand that you have got into a position, either a long or a short, when you do it from here only. Suppose you have taken a position manually, we will not be able to understand that you have taken it manually. So it may not work properly for you. So when you do it from here in this place, go to the strategy and then say generate a signal. We know that it is an API based signal position that you have taken. And when a new signal comes for that strategy, either a long or a short, we will know what has to be done and we will accordingly place the orders. Sure, sir. Exceeded. Okay, okay. We will look at that. Yes. See, the strategy part that you are running is in trading view. So we are not looking at your strategy. We are not accessing your code at all. So what is there in the super trade? We don't know. Only thing that we get to know from this place is the signal. So when this gives a buy signal or a sell signal, we pick up that signal and execute the order. So how, what is the basis of this signal? We don't know. It is your property. You have got it coded. You have put that into your Pine script and you are generating that in your platform. So we don't have any visibility as to what is running in this Pine code, because it is your subscription, your strategy, your code that you are running in a platform like TradingView, to which we don't have any access. The only access that happens is because of the uh, alert that you're creating. So when you create an alert, what is actually happening is, let me try and explain it to you. When you say create alert, when you go to this message box and, or let me try and edit this one. So we have put this code called strategy.order.action. So when there's a buy coming in, TradingView will pick up the action as say buy and send it to this place. Then send it to this URL. So this URL will come to us, and from this URL, we will be able to make out who is the broker and who is the client and which is the strategy which he is trying to run. So that is the only information that we get. So whether on what basis was this buy signal or sell signal generated in TradingView, what is the basis of that strategy, we will not have any visibility at all. So there's no question of we taking this code and using it for giving it to others. No, because we don't even have access to this, because this is your subscription of TradingView which you're running, and you have loaded your code, you have your logic created, and you're running it in your account of TradingView. For which TradingView again is very secure. It is running in cloud, and it can't be, they don't give access to people like us, a platform provider, to look at what is there in that code and try and take that. No, we don't do that. We can't do that at all. No, sir. Price band in terms of UC and LC, I think brokers only will need to provide that. I'm not very sure if it is defined in NSE or BSE charts, websites also. Normally, if it is say Nifty 50 or Nifty even the 250 FNO stocks, if you look at the, yeah, again that could vary. It could be sometimes in some stocks it could be 5%, it could be 10% or 20% kind of thing. Normally it is 5 or 10%, and some cases I think it goes up to 20% also in terms of LCUC. See, TradingView and Amibroker both have their own advantages and uh, disadvantages. It is all left to the users' discussion uh, as to what is that they are comfortable with. Now, TradingView is a platform which is very, very simple to use, and it requires nothing much in terms of infrastructure creation as such. All you have to do is subscribe to TradingView, and the charts are available. You have a strategy built in or developed, you load it there and keep running it. It is there in the cloud platform. However, if you are wanting to use Amibroker, to get into live trading using Amibroker, it would require a bit of practice. Amibroker had lot of functionalities and advantages when it comes to optimization, when it comes to backtesting, fetching live data. If you're an option trader, you're looking at some Greeks kind of studies and trying to select the strike price, applicable quantities to be changed, various parameters to be studied and organized, and orders generated and placed. Amibroker has huge amount of flexibility. However, it requires huge amount of practice also. Once you are familiar with usage of Amibroker and understand the functionalities and you wanting to use those functionalities, you also need to invest into the infrastructure. You have to buy that software. uh, of course, you can do with the free version also. However, you need a live data feed subscription. So that could cost anywhere from say 1,500 to 4,000, 5,000 rupees per month, kind of thing. And you should always keep your computer running. Uh, Whereas in TradingView, it is not the case. You can switch off you can close TradingView completely after you set the alerts. You need not. You can shut down your computers and still the strategy will be running in TradingView's backend, and signals will be getting generated and sent across for execution. Whereas in Amibroker, that is not the case. You need to manage that laptop or desktop or server on which you're running the Amibroker with the data feed and ensure that it is running smoothly and there's a high uptime. So people invest into hosting Amibroker on cloud infrastructure. So you need that kind of investments. And if you are running some huge strategies, yes, Amibroker provides those kind of advantages, and associated with that would also need the kind of investments that are required. I suppose the screen is visible to all. Sir, I think the screen is visible. In case if you're not able to see the screen, kindly log out and log in. All the others are able to have a look at the screen. Right? Sure. So, I suppose this is the method to you can bring in any strategy in TradingView, and this is the method to be followed. As simple as that. To copy paste in the alert, all you have to do is go to alert section and then update the message box and update the webhook URL and say create. Nothing else to be done. It is as simple as that. The strategy is yours, the code is yours, and you're not even getting into looking at what is there in the source code, doing any modifications there. When it involves modification, there will be mistakes, there could be errors, there could be execution issues. All that is avoided because we are not even touching any of the source code of TradingView strategies that you're running. Yeah, I will share my email ID details towards the end of the session. It is Lokesh at finfolab.com. I will anyway be sharing how to get in touch with us towards the end of this session. Yes. Um, I'm not able to understand this requirement. Sir. Can we configure how many broker API execution errors before strategy stop? For example, say, before addressing that, so let me I'll type out my email ID. Yeah, this is my ID, lokesh@filfilab.com. Now, we have got a buy signal generated by this Bitcoin alert that we just created. As you can see, the alert is here. Let us look at what has happened to this signal. So we'll go to Algomojo here and go to this My Signals and go to this tab called My Signals. As you can see, buy has come. So it was generated at 11:18:08, and the status is it is completed. Now, in case if there's an error for whatever reason, you will be able to make out from here. For example, when we are looking at here, it says rejected because no open paper trade positions available to square off. We were trying to do a square off when we were switching off the system. So it rejected saying there's no position to square off. So your signal was not processed. So in case if you find any error, you're able to make out from this place. So accordingly, you can take action. Suppose if it is for funds, or if the action is not coming correctly, say instead of buy, it might say that incorrect action detected kind of message. Then you know what needs to be done, and then you can get it corrected. So if there's an error, that order will not get executed at all. So irrespective of any number of signals that come and get rejected, we will not be able to stop it at our end. We'll just reject those signals and it will not be processed because of the errors. So you will need to manage the errors and get it rectified and ensure that the proper actions are coming in for executions. Yeah. Now, once you do this, so you can see that signal, this is signal page. You can download at the end of the day all the signals that you would have got for the strategy. Now, however, historical data or yesterday's data is not available, will not be available. Only the current day's data is getting stored in our system as of now. We will have a facility where you will be able to download the historical data, say of the past couple of weeks or couple of months. You want the all the signals that have come in to be downloaded. We will have that kind of facility enabled shortly. Now, orders also similarly. You can go to this order section and use this button called download. All the orders placed for the day will be available in a CSV format. So similarly, positions, all reports can be downloaded at the end of the day. So go to the respective section and say download. You will have the report. Yeah. Yes. Thanks. I'll definitely convey to Mr. Chandru about the support extended. See, as of now, we don't have the facility for limit order. So we are working on that model. Model is still under testing. We are ready to a certain extent, but we're still testing it and trying to see how we can enhance that facility. Once we find that it is suitable for live trading, it will definitely be made available. Yes, with things like say if the limit order is not executed within certain type time frame, say after a couple of seconds, then to be converted to the bid ask kind of rates. Those are the models that we are working on. Yes, it will be available. Yes, that is true. So you will have a facility where you can say that after say 5 attempts or 5 seconds or 3 seconds or even 1 second, if the order is not filled, then please convert it into market order. It will get converted and get placed as a market order. Or if you want it to continue as a limit order forever, it will be there. So whenever that price is reached, it can get executed. Yes. Interesting. Now, I wanted to show one more interesting thing in trading. Suppose, for example, this is how we saw about strategy. So you can bring in any strategy, and this is the same method in which you can use. So let me show you one more interesting thing. Uh, I'm sure a lot of people would like to use breakouts, or somebody was asking, I'm running a chart at which is say 23,600 kind of CE chart, and it is currently at say 160 levels, and if it comes to 200 levels, what how do I buy? Is there a facility where I can buy? So how do we do that? Let's just look at that. Now let's try and see how we do that for one more. Let me take one more, create one more strategy for Bank Nifty. Let me include that and say be in few options and select the rule which is say stop and reverse. And let me not use stop and reverse. Let me try and use long plus short. Segment we will say options, dynamic options. Then we will select Bank Nifty. Then expiry, I'll take it as current month. Strike price we'll say ITM 5 for example. And option buying and order type can be NRML or MIS. Price is always market and say we'll say 10 lots, for example, 350 quantity. Let's save this. Let me give a different name. So what we will look at is a price-based action. Suppose you want to take a trade when it comes to say 23, this is the resistance level. For example, you identified this as a resistance, and if the price goes above this, you would like to take an entry. So how do we do that? So all you have to do is right click here at the level wherever. For example, I'll right click here and say I'll add an alert at 84,000 say 500, and I'll see that price when it is going to cross up this level, I want an long entry to be taken. So go to the message box and give say a name, price, or we will say price based entry. Sorry, price based entry. And in the message box, we will need to specify the buy action. That we do it by picking up this code from the indicator section and copy this code for buy and paste it here. And under the notification, by default, whatever is there, remove that and go to Algomojo here. Copy this code, webhook URL, sorry, webhook URL. Let me enable this also for paper trade and paste it here, right? So, and say create. So what we are trying to say is that if the price is, which is currently at around 84,283, if it comes to 84,500, I want a long entry to be entered in Bank Nifty options. For example, I want the ITM 5 CE to be purchased. So that is what we are trying to define. So we will say create. So this will be available for you. We have said that price-based entry. This is again a one-time setup. Somebody was asking, how do I use 23600 CE, which is at 160. If it comes to 200, I want the entry to be taken. So all you have to do is create this alert for whatever level you are at. Say if it is at 300 level, and then shift it to whatever level you want. You want it to come to 200, or you want to come to say 180 level. Leave it there. You can drag it up and down. Anywhere you want to keep it, you can place it. This is one-time activity. That's it. So you create this alert, and it is always available for you. Tomorrow you want that level to be at a different place, say at 300 premium level, you can shift it. Or you want it to be at a higher level, you can shift it. Keep adjusting it dynamically on the screen itself, or you can go here and edit it from here also. Instead of 24,800, 500, sorry, 84, 500, I'll say 84, 550. So save it. It will always be visible for you also here. Any dotted right pointing arrow is the level that which you're looking at, is what you have just created, right? So let's try and see if we can get a hit here. We'll bring it to say 24,000, as close to the current price as such, and see if it gets hit now. So that's it. So if the price crosses above this dotted line, it will trigger a long entry and order will be sent for processing. Yeah, yeah. While we are waiting for the price to cross here, there's one interesting question. In terms of symbol, what is the format to be followed? Suppose, for example, the point you brought out is good, sir, because every broker has got different types of trading symbol that they use. There's no uniformity. So, if you are using Creatini, for example, go to the watch list and type out whatever is the instrument that you're trying to trade. For example, if it is idea, when you say, let me say, Paytm, and select it from here, you will get this symbol here. You know the format here. So some broker might will use Paytm hyphen EQ. Some other broker might keep it as Paytm underscore EQ. Some people keep it as Paytm space EQ. Some people would keep it as just Paytm. So this is the place from where you can get the symbol to be used. Now, if you're looking at say Nifty options, Nifty say 26,000 CE. So you can select it. You can type the code. Say, for example, TradeGenie uses a format called C for C, P for P. So if it is Zeroda, they will use some other format. If it is done, they will use a different format. So select it from here and use the same format for your watch list or wherever you wanting to use this symbol. So just go here and say copy from here. Here, copy this and say paste it in the Excel sheet or wherever you are wanting to use them. Yeah, yeah. If you want to club multiple strategies, you can do. You can say that okay, this is say for example we were looking at trading view. There are people who use that okay trading view even if it use buy. I want to ensure that RSI is at say above 75. Oh, I'm just taking a figure. It's not that it has to be 75. You have to say that okay, not only look at say a super trend giving a buy signal. When the buy signal or sell signal is coming in, I want to look at even RSI. If it is beyond 75 only, I want the order to be placed. So you can make those kind of changes also in the code, which you're going to use in PineScript. So that way you can, it need not be just one, two, or three confirmations. You can use as many confirmations that you want. You want to look at RSI, you want to look at, say, CCI, you want to look at higher time frame, what is happening, look at all that. And then if you are getting a confirmation on all the parameters that you're trying to check, and if yes, then the signal will be generated and it will be sent to broker or sent to Algomojo for processing. And we will in turn send it to your broker and exchange. Yeah. Yeah. We have created the level is still not getting hit. We can keep shifting it up or down and see if we can get a signal message. So this is one method. Now a lot of people use, for example, studies like um, trend lines, um, which are pretty popular. So you want to base on a trend line, you want to create an alert, you can still do that. You can say that trend line. You can draw a trend line, something like this, for example. You can draw a trend line and say that okay, if the price goes above or breaks out above the trend line, I want an entry to be taken. Similar, like what we did for pricing, you can draw your studies there and right click on that and say add an alert on trend line. And say that if the price is crossing up this trend line, I want a buy action to be generated. You can say that okay, I want a buy to be generated. Sorry, copy the this thing action from here. copy this code and place it here. Sorry, I didn't copy that properly. Give it a name and link it with the webhook URL and say create. That's it. So when the price breaks out, you'll get a long portion taken. Or if you want a breakdown, for example, you've drawn in a trend line like this, and if the price breaks down below this level, you want a sell to be taken or a portion which is already entered, you need to close that. It's possible. It is similar. You put in your drawing or study there, right click on that and say add an alert. And in the message box, you can say whether you want to buy or sell. And you can also specify the condition saying that crossing up or crossing down. If it is breakdown, use crossing down. And here in terms of message, you can say instead of buy, you can give it a sell. Instead of buy, you can give it a sell here. And link it with the strategy that you're trying to trade with the webhook URL and say create. That's it. So this is another method of using Algomojo for placing orders. Now, while we were looking at it, we had drawn a horizontal line, price-based action, that has got triggered. So let us look at what has happened to that. You can see that PV-based entry long has got triggered, right? So you can go here and then look at what is the status of that signal. Go to My Strategies and sorry, My Signals and select the Bank Nifty option. As you can see, price based, it reached a certain level of price here. We had said something like 84,300 close to. The price went above that and the order got triggered, and the long entry has been entered, sent across, and the position has been taken for, I think, 10 lots. Yes. It is very similar. See, if you're using an EMA crossover, whenever there's a crossover happening, it should give a buy signal or a sell signal. If it is programmed in such a manner that you get a buy or a sell signal, the process is the same. Instead of super trend, you use a EMA crossover strategy. So if there's a positive crossover, then it will trigger a buy signal. If it's a negative crossover, it will create a sell signal. The alert creation is the same. Method is the same. Like what we did here for super trend, the way we created alert, just goes here and say add alert. Instead of super trend, you say EMA crossover. But your EMA crossover that you're using should have that buy and sell signals coming in. So, like here, what you're seeing, it should be able to generate that action and give it to TradingView, who will in turn send it to us for processing. That's it. See, when you're doing a group strategy, it is typically for your options kind of execution. So, if you have multiple legs, say for example, if you have 3 legs, you are linking all 3 of them as a group, and you are using the group's webhook URL for execution. You're not using the single strategy webhook URL. You're using the group's webhook URL. So when you're using the group's webhook URL, all the legs in the group will be executed. You can't do it on a selective basis. If there are, say, 4 legs, you can't place orders only in 2 legs. It has to happen with all the 4 legs. It will happen with all the 4 legs. So it can't say send it to 3 legs and not the fourth leg. It can't happen that way. Yeah, it is the same as your positive crossover long entry and short exit and vice versa. Yeah, like what happened here, we saw in Super Trend, it was running short, it gave a long. Now it is trying to send a big guess. A short might be triggered now, as you can see. If the short gets triggered, the long portion will get closed and the short portion will be taken. It can keep running. So we had created this for Nifty. Let me show you for Nifty, for example. So there's a long portion running of, I think, 125 lots is what we selected. If a short is generated, the long will be closed and the short will be taken. So it can be any strategy. It can be EMA crossover, it can be super trend, any of them. The process is the same. See, in paper trading, the process of execution is the same, except that it is not sent to the exchange. It is executed in the our platform itself at the current market price whenever the order is getting executed, and the P&L everything is uh, getting updated as per the market price movements as such. So when it is live trading, it is pushed across to the exchange through the broker. If it is paper trading, it is not going to the broker at all. It is still in Algomojo platform itself, and it will be shown as paper trade. Like here, we have selected paper trade. You can make out that this is the paper trade running. If it is a live trade, this indication will not be there. So all strategies running under paper trade, it will have this symbol showing paper trade. Any queries on how to use trading view, how to automate any strategy, any indicator, any price-based action using trading view? The process is similar. Get your strategy so you're not dependent on us to look at the strategy and automate it. You are you have the flexibility to choose any strategy that you have been using. You can bring in the same strategy, and we are there to help you to automate it by a simple copy paste system. You have to just copy paste two things. One is the message box content, like what we saw here. This content is one that you have to copy paste, and next is the webbook URL that you have to copy paste. There's nothing else to be done for automating it. See, that's what today's market is closed. So we are looking at a Bitcoin kind of environment. You can do it. You can suppose you want to test out a platform and see if the orders have. You are trying to check in if the futures and or options CEP is it happening as per the requirements. Do all the setups. Since the Bitcoin market is available 24/7, you can keep doing it. Please try it out. So, like what we did just now for the setups, continue doing it. If you already have a broker account, you will be able to log in using Algomojo, and you get the facility for paper trade, and it can keep running. Except that the positions taken will be in terms of the Nifty or Bank Nifty or option that you're choosing. The target and stop loss, those kind of things will not be, you will not be able to check. Only the signal processing you will be able to check. When a buy comes, a long will be triggered. When a sell comes, a short will be triggered. When a target is achieved, whether it will get closed or not, you'll not be able to see that because the Nifty or Bank Nifty markets are closed today. So you will not get those option prices uh, today. In the live market, you'll still get it. So in the live market, Monday when you're trying do a paper trade, or say for Nifty futures or Bank Nifty options, and in paper trade, you'll be seeing the actual P&L, the actual price as per the market price movement, and what is happening to your trade. You will be able to check it out. For doing the setups, you can do it today, tomorrow when using the crypto, and then link it to the chart on for Nifty or Bank Nifty, whichever instrument you want to trade, and then try the paper trades on Monday. If things are going as per your expectation, then you can look at live trade research. See, paper trade is allowed in Algomojo platform. It doesn't hit the broker at all. So whichever broker account you have, doesn't matter. It will not go to the broker. It is in our environment only. So you will be able to test out if the signals are coming in and the orders are getting placed as per your requirement. Yeah, when it comes to price, there are certain enhancement that we are looking at, like your buffer and trigger price and all that limit order when it gets executed or gets implemented. We will have those kind of facilities. Sir. Yes. Yes, tell me, sir. What are the doubts you have? Let me. See, currently we have based it only on price-based exits as such. Strategy-based, as of now, no. I don't think we have that work started for strategy-based executions as such. So if you're using ATR-based, you will need to run it on TradingView itself. We will not be able to. Such a facility as of now, I don't think so, sir. We're not working on it. I think options watch list is available, sir. No, it is coming up in the next release as such. Yes, you will have it in the next release. Yes. See, your strategy creation. Suppose you take the TradingView subscription. Uh, if you want any support, our team will be there uh, till 5 o'clock today on Saturdays. We work, so they will be able to help you out. You will need to have the subscription of TradingView, and you have to have a broker account using which you can log into our platform. Only thing is, if you have a specific code to be developed based on the idea that you have, first you have to send that by email to me. We will check for the feasibility. If it is something simple, or whatever is the requirement, we will look at the costing. We'll share you the costing, and once the code is developed, we will test it out for you and in your account itself. And if everything is going as per your requirement, then you can go live. Or if you already have something like a super trend available in TradingView, it is a matter of a couple of minutes of setting it up in terms of alert and doing the setup in Algomojo. You are ready to test it out today itself. Code development would take time. Yeah, that's right. Watch list for options will come in the next release. Point taken. When we are doing it, uploading the YouTube videos, we will try and include that. Yes. It should be happening in December, is what is the indication as of now. We have lot many features are expected. Even the static IP part also is supposed to go live by end of December, January kind of thing. We should be ready next month, sir. Yes. Yes. Now, there was a requirement for looking at Amibroker. Yeah, in case you have strategies, say for example in Amibroker, all you have to do is look at the chart and suppose something like, let me try and load a strategy. Now, this is a strategy which is again pretty similar in nature of a super trend, which is like it is always in trade, either long or short. So, if you have a strategy in Amibroker, all you have to do is uh, download the necessary module. Like what we saw in terms of rules, similar kind of things are available for Amibroker modules also. For example, here, when we created this strategy, you go to any of the strategy page. On the right side here, you will see which is the platform. If you go to Amibroker, if the rule that you're trying to use is stop and reverse, so you go to the section, copy this, and save this as a AFL. So I have already done that in Algomojo, Amibroker. So all I have to do is drag and drop it here. Long plus short execution module. I'll just drag and drop it here. And once you do that, on the parameter section, right click the parameters, you will need to upload the webhook URL. So that webhook URL is the same what we saw here. We created, for example, if you're trading in, say, for example, this is Bank Nifty, copy this webhook URL. Like in TradingView, we copied this and pasted the webhook URL. Similar thing needs to be done in Amibroker. Paste it here and here. Enable algo mode. That's it. There's no other thing to be done. You can bring in any strategy and download the necessary module, save it as an AFL. Like here, I said it as Algomojo long plus short execution module. The other one is a button execution module. For example, button execution would work in this fashion. Say if you're looking at a chart in price chart here, and whenever the price comes to a certain level, at the click of a button, you want an order to be executed. All you have to do is go to this charts and drag and drop this module. Right click here, go to the parameters, and update the webhook URL and say enable. So you will get this button called buy entry, buy exit, short entry, short exit. So when you click this button, the order will get executed. As simple as that. Let me try and show you that. So if when we say buy entry, it will show you that order has been sent. So the same thing, you can look at it here. Go to my signals, and we were looking at Bank Nifty for that. You can see that buy has come at 11:51:34. Order has been completed. You can make out this is a different IP. This was from TradingView. This is from my laptop. So your laptop IP will be there, and the order will be placed, and the so you have 57,300, 57,300, 600 kind of strikes which are currently running. So if you want to exit this, you can just say buy exit. It will send the sell order, and the same will be executed here. Sell has come, and the position will be closed. Position has become zero. That's it. Oh, okay. So charting. Let me get this checked, sir. I'll definitely get this checked, uh, and we will come back to you and suggest what needs to be done. In case if there's some issue in our side, we will definitely get it checked. Just one moment. Let me note it down. I've noted down your issue. I'll get it checked with our development team and we'll come back to you. See, mm, yeah, it could happen that you're in a long trade and next day morning there could be a gap down. It is all dependent on how your strategy is designed to handle. We are just an execution module. So if your strategy is sending a buy signal and it continues to remain in buy, even though there's a gap down, there's no signal coming to us, we will not be able to do anything. Suppose if there's a gap down and your strategy in trading view sends a signal to close the long trade and take a short trade, we will do that. It is dependent on how you handle it at your strategy level in trading view or Amibroker or whichever trading platform that you're trying to run your strategy in. We have no relation as to what how the strategy should behave in terms of gap up or gap down, those kind of environments. You will need to handle those logic in your trading strategy, in your Pine code or Amibroker code, wherever you're running. You will need to handle it there. As to if there's a gap down, whether you want to take down at close the long trade and take the short trade immediately, or you want to wait for first 10 minutes, or whatever is the condition, and then take the trade of short or close or remain continue holding the long trade. You can define it in your strategy code itself. I'll get it checked, sir. In terms of your issue and what had happened, I'll speak to our development team and come back to you. I have noted your name also, so we should definitely have your details. We will come back to you. Yes. We are in. We try and do that with a lot of brokers. We sometimes do similar kind of sessions with different brokers so that their clients would get a visibility as to what are the features and facilities that are available with Algomojo kind of platform. And since again, like us, there are many other people who provide similar kind of services. So brokers also try to be neutral when it comes to platform providers like us. So that's why you may not find all brokers advertising for specific platform per se. There are some brokers with whom we work pretty close as such. So that's why we are able to get facilities like free APIs with only 7 brokers. The others are not providing or they have not agreed for a similar kind of arrangement. So some brokers do give us opportunities to talk to a larger audience and take our platform to larger audience and such. Yes. True. We are still a small company. We have been in business for almost 8 years now, and we have established whatever clientele based on word of mouth. People like you who have been using, got into our platform and experienced our platform. Who have found this platform to be stable and they have been using it for years together now. So we are not caught into too much of advertisements. We still feel that for us there is a long way to go in terms of the kind of features that can be added. So there could there will be a stage where we could get into a larger audience as such. Yes. We do depend on customers' feedbacks pretty seriously in terms of the feature requirements or enhancements. So we work closely with some large clients from our existing client base, especially. Take their feedbacks, take their experiences, try and see how we can enhance our systems and platforms. We do that pretty often. That's how we have reached this stage also, and we look forward to many more feedbacks and it could be any shortcomings in our facility or any new things that needs to be added. We take it pretty positively and see how we can provide a different experience for people who use our platforms as such. We do this demo almost every weekend. I think next 2 weeks we are not planned, but after that we'll from December mid we will do pretty regularly, and we have plans to do more engagements with the brokers and have more YouTube kind of representations and so our social media presence is also pretty low, so we plan to enhance those engagement levels going forward. Yes. Fine. If there are any queries, I'll be pretty happy to address them. Kindly let me know. Thanks a lot for attending this session on how to use Algomojo platform for your trading and investment journey. Uh, would look forward to many more inputs, many more interactions with uh, all users. And thanks once again, and have a nice weekend. In case if there are no other queries, we can try and conclude the session. Oh yeah, sure. Now let me try and open this strategy. To uh, let me try and close all this here. So suppose you want to you're trading in, say, this is Nifty Bank Nifty options. Okay, you can say that, okay, you bought an option at, say, 100 rupees, right? And you want to have a target of, say, 200, say 100 rupees. So you bought it at 100, you want to get at least 100 more points. So you want the portion to be closed once it reaches 200. You can set it as target as in terms of points. You can say that my target value is 100. Say, sorry, 200. You bought it at 100 and you want a target of 200 to be done. Sorry, let me rephrase this. You're looking at a 100-point target. So you bought a option premium at 100 rupees, and if that becomes 200 because you set this as 100, your position will get closed because the target that you are looking at has got achieved. Suppose you have said that, okay, you don't want to incur more than 30 points loss. You can say that stop loss, keep it at 30 points. So you kept a target of 100 and a stop loss of 30. Whichever gets achieved first, that will be executed. Suppose the stop loss is hit first, your position is out with 30 points loss. Suppose if a target of 100 points is achieved, so your position is closed with 100 points profit. So we keep track of this based on the position price that has been executed at. Suppose normally you will see that you will not get an exact price of 100 rupees. You will, it might be something like 100.25 or 100.58, sorry, 100.60. So from that level we will look at what is the target and what is the stop loss that should be, and accordingly whichever target or stop loss is hit, the position get closed. Yes. And it need not be fixed to a certain point. You can say in terms of percentage also. So if you say 10%, for example, if you are selecting in terms of points, a percentage, you can say, if I get a 10% profit, my portion to be closed. And if I hit a 1% loss, my portion to be closed. So you can set in terms of percentage also, points also, or even M to M. Suppose you say that if my M to M reaches 500 rupees profit or 5,000 rupees profit, it has to be closed. Or if it incurs a loss of 2,000 rupees, it has to be closed. You can say that in terms of M to M, you can say stop loss of, say, 2,000 rupees, and target in terms of M to M as, say, 5,000 rupees. So whenever these levels are hit, the portion can get closed. No. See, M2M is mark to market. It is intraday profit, typically. It is intraday. It is not dependent on how many positions are, how many stocks are getting traded. It is for each stock or index that you're trying to set up in the strategy. Here, in this case, it is Bank Nifty. The other case was Nifty futures. So for each of them, it is different. So M2M is the day's profit. Today, if the target is hit of 5,000 rupees, suppose you're an intraday trader and you're looking at certain targets and stop losses for the trade, then we suggest that you can look at M2M. So if you are a positional kind of trader, then look at a percentage or a point-based system. M2M has more to do with intraday. For positional, you can look at either a percentage of points or even a profit-based, say profit stop also for positional trades. Now, let me share you one more information. If you go to Algomojo and go to this blog section, visit a blog, and if you want to have a better understanding of any of these features, you can say target. Search for that article, understanding M2M target stop loss and trailing stop loss in Algomojo. So go to this article and you will get a detailed explanation as to how the facility works, how the feature works. So I request you to look at a blog in case if you need any clarification in terms of the features that are provided by Algomojo. The details would definitely be, you will find a write-up in our blog for those features and facilities that we extend. Great. In case you have any queries, do let me know. Otherwise, we can conclude the session. Have a nice, before we close, let me try and share you uh, the support details that we have. Uh, this is about the Algomojo support. We are available from 9 to 5 on all trading days, on Saturdays from 10 to 5. You can contact us on a WhatsApp number 81055 or you can call us on 8550 or you can raise a ticket from Algomojo platform itself, or you can send us an email. So you can get access with us using any of these methods. And um, in case you have any coding requirements, you can get in touch with me. My name is Lokesh. My email ID is lokesh@infolab.com. In case you'd like to speak to me, you can call on the same number or office number and ask for me. They will be able to transfer the call, or they will ask me to call you back. If you share your number, I will do that. Yes. So office number and my official email ID is lokesh@infolab.com. Thanks a lot, and have a nice weekend. Please feel free to contact us in case if you need any assistance. We will try and see how we can help you out in terms of your trading and investment journey. Have a nice weekend again. Thanks again.